have one guest tonight. He is a liar. George Santos. You've led people to believe you were Jewish.
Always said Jewish. My grandparents survived the Holocaust. True.
My mom was a 9/11 survivor.
She was downtown Manhattan on 9/11, sir.
When the planes hit.
I mean, I don't know if she was there when the planes hit, after, or whatever.
Look, this is your chance to be straight.
Dr. Phil, I could cure cancer. People would nitpick at it.
If you are a truth teller, you suck at it. Well, I have a question for you. How many of you know someone that if you were honest, you would have to say, well, they're just a liar? Well, lots of people are. My good friend Pam Myers wrote a fabulous book you should read called Lie Spotting. She reports that you get lied to 10 to 200 times a day. Many are white lies, like, does this make me look fat? And many are not. Strangers, you lie to an average of 3 times in the first 10 minutes. You lie to them more than people you know. Men lie mostly about themselves, 8 times more than women, who lie mostly to protect others. Married, you lie to your spouse 1 out of every 10 times you open your mouth. Dating, 1 in 3. College, you lie to your mom 1 out of every 5 times you talk to her. Importantly, you can learn when people are lying with a high degree of accuracy. A few examples. Liars, if you're really questioning them, challenging them, fact-checking them, 90% of the time, you'll find their feet are pointed towards the exit. Speech, they don't use contractions when they're lying. They won't say, I didn't, they say, I did not. Very formal, very deliberate. Distancing. If you're talking to somebody that killed someone or robbed someone, they'll say that woman, not Barbara or Doris, just that woman. They use a lot of qualifying language. In all candor, or I swear to God. If somebody invokes the deity, next thing out of their mouth is a lie. They repeat the question a lot because they're buying time to think about what they're going to say. They give you too much detail. Forget what you think you know. Fidgeting? No. They actually freeze. No eye contact? Not true. They tend to stare. Innocent people will be mad the whole time they are falsely accused. Liars need to stay in order like a waiter reciting the specials for the day. They can't get off script. They're incongruent. They'll shake their head. They'll say yes, but their head says no. Did you try to save her? Yes, I did. I did everything I could. When they're lying, their blink rate goes from an average of 10 to about 70. Well, you can use some of this information right now because I have one guest tonight. He is a liar. You all know former Representative George Santos, right? Well, during his political campaign, he had described himself as the full embodiment of the American dream, an openly gay child of Brazilian immigrants who rose to the upper echelons of Wall Street before entering the world of politics. He had it all, right? Until the cracks in his foundation broke wide open last year. It seemed the George Santos we all thought we knew was a sham.
Incoming Republican Congressman George Santos did not graduate from college. He did not work at Citigroup, and he did not work for Goldman Sachs, despite his resume saying that he did.
Mr. Santos, why did you lie to your voters about your qualifications, your past, being Jewish?
He also falsely claimed that he ran a nonprofit, and another falsehood, that he owned 13 properties. He also admitted that the Pulse nightclub shooting victims never worked for him.
How can you say your voters elected you if they didn't know who they were electing?
A lot of questions remain about the money when it comes to Congressman George Santos.
We're talking about 23 federal charges that the former congressman is facing. Some of the allegations against him are just stealing from his own campaign donors and using that money to enrich himself.
New Republicans are calling you a disgrace.
What a media circus. Here's what some of his former colleagues had to say about him.
The conduct of Mr. Santos has been embarrassing and unbecoming and unfit for public office.
Senator Mitt Romney telling embattled Republican Congressman George Santos, quote, "You don't belong here."
He says that he embellished his record. Look, embellishing is saying you got an A when you get an A-. Lying is saying you graduated from a college you didn't even attend.
I believe that this individual is a stain on this institution, a stain on the state of New York, a stain on Long Island, and a stain on the beloved Nassau County.
Well, that has to hurt. George Santos will go down in history as only the sixth member of the House of Representatives to be expelled from Congress. After an investigation by the House Ethics Committee, he's facing 23 shocking felony charges, including wire fraud, money laundering, theft of public funds, and lying to Congress. Crimes that, if he's convicted, could land him in prison. He has pleaded not guilty to all charges. Now, does he deserve a second chance? Can voters trust him again? Well, we hit the streets of his district in New York to see what his constituents have to say.
George Santos is pretty much a fraud. He lied his way into Congress. It's astonishing how he was able to even get to that point, just lie after lie after lie.
He's a liar of the extreme type. He's beyond. He's ridiculous.
He's a habitual liar, and he continues on and on and on. I don't know who's more stupid, us or him.
When I hear George Santos, I think of SNL automatically.
I don't think he's to be trusted. Very scary to hear that he's even attempting to run again.
Well, George, welcome.
Well, thank you for having me.
Well, I'm interested to talk to you. So why did you want to be here today?
Well, I took the invitation. I've followed your career my entire life, so I said, why not?
Mm-hmm.
It's a privilege to be here with you today, sir.
You have created an interesting wake behind you over the last couple of years. Would you agree?
Sure, we can say that, yeah.
Yeah, would you describe it differently?
I don't know. I think there's a lot of, how can I say this? There's a lot more media flair that if you were to give the same kind of scrutiny to the other 435 people in Congress, I think it'd be more entertaining.
You have said that you are the victim of a witch hunt.
One can say that. When was the last time
You did say that.
Oh, no, yeah, I did say that. But when was the last time that one member of Congress had the entire national and international media breathing down their neck? And trust me, there's plenty of people in Congress who have objectified and done so much more to harm the American people, but they came after me with everything they had.
Well, you said when was the last time they got focused on? Well, when was the last time somebody lied about their degrees, their religion, their work experience, their family, stole from their constituents?
Those are not, you're saying as if all of those are facts.
Well, are
right?
they?
No.
Okay. Well, let's get some terms so we can use the same definition.
Yeah.
What do you define as a lie?
Well, a lie is a lie. It's not true, period.
Okay. Did you lie?
Yeah, I've admitted that. I've admitted that I've made some very poor choices in the past.
Well, I didn't want to ask you. Not did you make poor choices, did you lie?
I said yes, yeah.
Okay. What did you lie about?
You know, it's been a year since I was elected, a little over a year. It's been this same exact line of questioning over and over and over again, and it's so extensively documented. I think it's not smart to use time to kind of rehash, but if we want to rehash, yes, there were things that I was, I've said and I've made it very clear I'm not proud of, and that I've absolutely owned up to. And I wish every time somebody was caught in public office in the same predicament that they would have the fortitude to go on national television and also say and fess up.
Well, you're not wanting to fess up, you're wanting to change the subject, apparently.
I'm not changing the subject. I just told you exactly what you asked me.
What's the difference between a lie and embellishment, in your view?
I think a lie is completely divorced from reality, and an embellishment is an exaggeration to what is partially truth.
Okay. So you say that you have lied. We can talk about that in a minute. But I'm really interested in why. I used to sleep terribly, but I found Beam's Dream Powder, a science-backed, healthy nighttime blend packed with ingredients shown to improve sleep. Beam is founded in America and run by people who share our values of hard work. Their Dream Powder is made with a powerful blend of all-natural ingredients: reishi, magnesium, L-theanine, apigenin, and melatonin. Here's the deal. Beam is giving my listeners the ultimate Patriot discount of up to 40% off. Try their best sleeping Dream Powder and get up to 40% off for a limited time. Go to shopbeam.com/Dr. Phil and use code Dr. Phil at checkout. That's shopbeam.com/Dr. Phil and use code Dr. Phil for up to 40% off. Sleep better, wake up stronger, and show up ready for your family, your work, and your country. Because when you're well rested, you're unstoppable. And this country needs more people like that.
House Resolution 878, resolution providing for the expulsion of Representative George Santos from the United States House of Representatives.
The chair announces to the House that in light of the expulsion of the gentleman from New York, Mr. Santos, the whole number of the House is now 434.
So you say that you have lied. We can talk about that in a minute. But I'm really interested in why.
A lot of my life prior to Congress, if you ask any of my friends, before I even decided to run for office, they would tell you George is brutally honest and blunt and sometimes even hurtful because I don't filter my opinions. And then to become apparently now this national liar, you know, that was very difficult of a punch in the gut for me. But a lot of it, when it comes to the campaign stuff, a lot of those decisions weren't my own decisions. I just ran with them because I was being, I guess, guided and advised by the people who knew best.
So are you a victim?
I'm not saying I'm a victim.
What are you saying?
I'm an adult. I took bad advice and I thought it was smart when it was stupid.
Well, give me an example of bad advice you got and from who?
I wouldn't get a meeting with the GOP chairman if I had sent him my true resume with my real achievements, which quite frankly, I was very proud of. When, you know, folks that I had in my team said, oh, we'll just put this here, a little white lie, you'll never get past this. Well, guess what? Got past that.
A white lie is like, does this make me look fat? And you go, oh, no, that's a white lie.
Sure. Okay.
A white lie is not, I went to Horace Mann School, I graduated from Baruch College, I went to NYU for a master's degree. Those aren't white lies. Those are material misrepresentations of people that are judging your competency to perform a certain task. Do you agree?
I do.
Well, you said it was a white lie. Have you changed your mind since I started talking?
Well, I guess poor choice of words. You're right. I'm wrong.
Because you seem like a pretty bright guy, actually.
Oh, I'm flattered. Thank you.
But it seems to me that if you were really bright, you would say,
no.
Man, that's going to hit the wall.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody with a computer can check out whether I'm listed on the alumni list at NYU. I have an opponent. You know, somebody's going to...
Well, clearly he wasn't very smart either.
Well, somebody was.
No, I mean...
Somebody was smart enough to say, let's see if this guy went to NYU.
Dr. Phil, I know it's hard sometimes for people to understand politics and for folks watching at home understand. There was no actual investigative research into what had transpired, right? This is
really
no. Let me finish. You're talking about an ethic.
It seems like somebody looked into some.
Provided most of it. What I was getting at was the New York Times investigative report wasn't really much of an investigation. It was essentially my opposition research, my own vulnerability study that done in my own campaign was handed over to the New York Times in reprisal for me firing a campaign staffer a year earlier. That's how that investigation comes to be.
Okay, so you investigated yourself.
Well, no, I did a vulnerability study. For
Well,
the
I
campaign.
understand what a vulnerability study is. I mean, well, when you paid them to do this vulnerability study, you give them a list of things that are going to pop up, right?
Yes.
So you told them, you're going to find out I didn't go to Horace Mann, I didn't go to Baruch College, I didn't go to NYU. So you didn't have to look that up, right?
Of course, yeah.
And then what did you do with the results of that vulnerability
Oh, I gave
study?
it, the GOP had it in Washington, D.C.
You distributed that when?
December of 21 or November of 21, either or.
So a year before you were elected, the GOP knew that you had lied about all that stuff.
About the education stuff on the vulnerability, yes.
They knew you had a GED.
Yes.
And they said, we know you lied about all that, just go with it.
No. So I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that that's true because it's not. So there was a number of protocols taken to walk back those things slowly on our website and remove all those things. Obviously, journalists had captured earlier versions of the website, and therefore the start comparison and then the reports come out.
Okay. You took those things off.
Yes.
So the paragraph was this long and it just became this long?
Well, if
it just said GED period, next paragraph.
No. Well, no, because just having a GED doesn't round up the entirety of my life, right? I'm 35
No, of course not. I'm just saying in the education section.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Sure.
So in that vulnerability study, did you volunteer all of the things that had been fabricated?
Yeah.
Did you tell them that you didn't work for Citicorp?
Well, you see, that's where it's nuanced. In the sense of the biography, we did work at Linkbridge Investors when I was the vice president there for all these corporations. So in the sakes of, and here's an embellishment, having done the work and working for work that was when I admittedly say, yes, that's an embellishment, but the work was done, right? So I know
work
people.
was done?
Well, we provide service. We were service
Did you get
providers.
a pay stub from Citibank?
No, I got one from Linkbridge Investors, who we at the time did do work on a contract basis for Citigroup, Citicorp, and for Goldman and many other Fortune 500 companies that we've worked for. And I've also rehashed that in the media too.
Let's look at this tape and tell me how this is nuanced.
When I first started in my career at Citigroup, I was told, oh, you're a really smart guy. And here I am. Today I am a proud regional director of a $1.5 billion fund.
Have you ever heard of a Goldman Sachs employee take the stage at the largest private equity conference in the world, SALT, run by Anthony Scaramucci, and berate their employer? Well, I did that.
That didn't seem very nuanced.
Okay.
That says, I worked for Goldman Sachs. I took the stage at the SALT conference run by Anthony Scaramucci, who I know, and he doesn't remember that.
Sure. I mean, look, people are so easy and run away from.
Did you work for Goldman Sachs and take the stage at the SALT conference?
I just told you I worked for Linkbridge Investors and then Harbor City Capital, and I provided services for both firms at the time I was at Linkbridge Investors. So no, that was not the most accurate representation of how the events unfolded.
Okay, is that a no?
Yeah, it's a no.
Okay, so you weren't at that conference?
No, I've been to SALT many times.
Well, I want to ask you, were you at that conference and did you take the stage and say what you said
conference?
You said? The one you referenced.
That's SALT.
There.
Yeah, I've been to SALT many times.
Were you at that one where you said you took the stage?
I have been to SALT many times, yes.
Okay, now answer my question.
Yes,
Were you at the
I
one
was
you
at
just
that
referenced?
conference, yes.
And did you take the stage?
I have taken the stage at SALT before,
At
yes.
that conference that you just referenced?
SALT is one conference, so yes.
And you took the stage and said?
I have been in SALT multiple times, yes.
Now answer my question.
I just did.
Well, bear with me because I'm finding it hard to find the answer. Do we need to play the tape again?
No. The answer is yes, I did go to that conference. Yes, I did take a panel stage at that conference. That's all.
Well, Scaramucci said there's no record of you being at that conference. There's no record of you being on that stage, and that.
But then he donates to me.
That wasn't the question.
Well, no,
The
I
question
understand.
is-
Scaramucci said multiple times he doesn't know who I am, that he's never met me. I have pictures with Anthony, and I like Anthony. I think he's a brilliant guy. And then he also donated to my campaign.
That's deflection. I'm asking you, were you at that conference? Did you take the stage and say what you said? Look, this is your chance to be straight. And you're doing a pattern that I think you've done a lot, where you're deflecting.
I'm not deflecting. I just
not very well, but you're trying.
I just answered your question, Dr. Phil.
No, you haven't.
What is the question? Did
You
I
heard
go?
the question.
Did I go to SALT? I just told you yes.
That wasn't the question. You're rewriting the question
Okay.
and answering the one you wish I had asked.
Okay, go ahead.
Play the tape.
When I first started in my career at Citigroup, I was told, oh, you're a really smart guy. And here I am. Today I am a proud regional director of a $1.5 billion fund.
Have you ever heard of a Goldman Sachs employee take the stage at the largest private equity conference in the world, SALT, run by Anthony Scaramucci, and berate their employer while I did that?
Did you do that? That's a yes or no question.
Okay, so no in that context, no. Right, but I have been to SALT multiple times. That's what I'm trying to come across to you. And I think I've been trying to say this, but you keep saying that I'm not answering your question.
No, well, you did answer it for the first time, and then when you said no, that didn't happen. You didn't go to that conference, get up on the stage, and berate your employer.
I have gone, so Dr. Phil, bear with me. I have gone to SALT. I have gone to the Linkbridge conferences. I've gone to the Markets Group conference and multiple other conferences, right? I have taken the stage, and I have, in multiple occasions, used the same system that facilitates that to criticize them on their hypocrisy, which is something I'm proud to do. But in that context, no, you're correct.
But we can conclude that you weren't at that conference, where they have no record of you being there, and they have videotape of the conference, and you never walked on that stage.
I have the program at home.
Really? And you were printed on there?
Yes, I was. Did I make up the program too?
Did you?
Oh. I'm asking you. Did I? I mean, that's kind of the next level I think we take this to. George Santos makes fake programs at home.
Well, that wouldn't be a stretch. You made up a hell of a lot of other stuff.
Oh, I guess. Yeah, that's right. Let me start printing programs now.
Whether it's talk of a Nobel Peace Prize or fears of World War III, one thing's certain: uncertainty rules the day. And when the world feels this unstable, your finances are on the line. If Iran blocks the Strait of Hormuz, oil prices could skyrocket just like the 1970s. That triggered inflation, gas shortages, and a weakening dollar. Wall Street's already tense. Goldman Sachs sees sustained recession risk, and JP Morgan warns of a potential oil shock. Add in $36 trillion in national debt, and the financial pressure is real. This isn't hype, it's a wake-up call. The time to act is now. That's why I trust Preserve Gold. When the world turns unstable, smart folks turn to gold and silver. Text Dr. Phil to 50505 to get your free precious metals guide from Preserve Gold. As a bonus, you can get up to $15,000 in free silver with a qualified purchase. So don't wait. Text Dr. Phil to 50505 today.
Congressman, were you ever a drag queen in Brazil?
No, I was not a drag queen in Brazil, guys. I was young and I had fun at a festival. Sue me for having a life.
When you were really into this taking bad advice from people and doing stuff, was there a limit where you would say, no, not doing that?
Looking back, I was stupid and ambitious. That's the best way to put it. And I've apologized profusely to people. And if I could do it all over again, I'd do it so different. Because the one thing that I am really proud of is of my upbringing and my family. And in a sense, it was a disrespect to my mom, may God rest her soul. It was a disrespect to my dad, who's worked a very hard life being a blue-collar worker. So I would do it differently, absolutely. Tons of regrets.
Well, I hope that's true. Why did you say your mother was a 9/11 survivor?
I never said my mom. First of all, my mother was my best friend, and losing my mom to cancer in the way I did in 2016 was very difficult for me, a very dark time in my life. My mother worked downtown Manhattan, as did my dad. My dad was in and out of most of those skyscrapers throughout his entire career as a painter. The conversation just got completely miscontextualized.
Well, let's take a look at what you said.
Go ahead.
Andy, my mom was a 9/11 survivor. She was in the South Tower, and she made it out. She got caught up in the ash cloud. My mom fought cancer till her death.
I stand by that till this day.
So she was in the South Tower?
She worked in the South Tower, yes.
On 9/11?
At that time, yes. She was downtown Manhattan on 9/11, sir.
When the planes hit?
I mean, I don't know if she was there when the planes hit, after, or whatever the case was, but she was there.
You said to CNN, my mother got caught up in the ash cloud that day and fought cancer until her death in 2016.
Are we disputing my mother's health record too?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But according to the New York Times, your mother wasn't in the United States during 9/11.
Yeah.
She didn't apply for a visa until 2003.
So my mom applied for a visa, but I was born here to lawful green card holders in 1988. Does that story make sense to you, Dr. Phil?
I don't know.
Well, my question,
you.
I'm asking you, does that story make sense? Is the Times not have been corrected multiple times for their falsehoods and their wrong narratives or their sensationalized stories?
DHS says your mother applied for a visa in 2003, and she wasn't able to return to the United States since 1999 because her green card was stolen in Brazil.
My mother was a green card holder, and my mother was here my entire life. I lived here.
So you're saying your mother was in the tower when the planes hit?
My mother was in downtown Manhattan in the tower, as the accounts from when I was a 13-year-old kid is how she explained it to me, yes, sir. And I believe her. I don't believe the Times, that's for sure.
The only way you know it is that she told you.
Well,
where were you on 9/11?
School.
And how did she tell you about it?
When she picked me up from school.
Oh. So she was in the tower, they got hit, she got out, got in the car, and came and got you?
Well, not in the car. There was a whole lot of walking and hitchhiking that day in Manhattan. You couldn't really get in or out of Manhattan. I don't know the ins and outs of how, but we were picked up at school.
I found that people do things for a reason. I've spent most of my life focused on why people do what they do and don't do what they don't do. I mean, we all have motivations. And if you see people do something in pattern, over and over, there's some payoff for it.
What's the payoff here? There's none. It's a net negative.
Now?
No, it's always been a net negative. It was stupid. Then it's stupid now.
Well, now, but I'm curious why you have lied when you've lied, like you've led people to believe you were Jewish.
That's, again, taken out of context. I've always said Jewish. Do you have a clip?
I do, actually.
Oh, so run the clip. Run the clip.
How did you know?
Run the clip.
All right, let's do.
I'm a Latino Jew, which makes them shake in their pants because the reality is I got it all, baby. I come from all angles.
I've seen how socialism destroys people's lives because my grandparents survived the Holocaust.
True. I was raised Roman Catholic. I've said that at the RJC stage in 2022. I even made the joke as I was introduced. Amazing, a room with over 1,000 Jews, and you're conceding the mic to the only Roman Catholic in the room. And then I go to say, well, I am Jew-ish. After all, the whole room laughs. It's a joke. It's lighthearted and respectful. And then all of a sudden, it's spinned off in the narrative of George Santos lied about his heritage.
Were your grandparents Holocaust survivors?
I didn't say they were Holocaust survivors. I said they fled the Holocaust, right? I know where I have done wrong. I have fessed up. I have apologized. I continue to apologize profusely. Not a day goes by that I don't recognize and wish I could have done it differently.
But have you owned it? Because you're still ducking and weaving. And I'm trying to give you an opportunity to just be 100% transparent and authentic.
I just don't understand what's expected of me. I can't change who I am as a person and my personality. I mean, it's almost like that's what's being requested, is for me to change who I am as a human being and my personality. I don't know how to do exactly what is expected of me from, I guess, your standpoint and your viewpoint that would make you feel like it's sufficient. And please correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay. Listen, you have to be who you are. I'm not asking you to be somebody you're not. Your personality is what it is. But I've been doing this for over 45 years. There's a big difference between deception detection and then getting to the truth. Those are two separate parts of interviewing somebody and getting the whole picture. And you show a lot of lie behaviors when you're talking to me. Then getting to the truth is the second part, where it's like, all right, then if what you've said and done is not the truth, and you've said, I did lie about a lot of things. I've said that before. Okay, I get that, but usually that sentence ends with a period. With you, there's a comma. I've lied before, comma. Here's the rest of the story. And that's where I'm trying to find the bottom here.
So are you saying that me trying to give you context to it, I should just stop at admitting it and not giving you the context? And
No,
that would be, maybe I'm learning from you. You know, I'm really trying to learn from you.
No,
So if that's what you're telling me,
I
then
guess you've had worse advice.
I agree.
Well, we've agreed on something.
There you go.
There are reasons people lie. One reason, they take what is not rightfully theirs. That's a reason people lie. They lie to escape accountability. They lie to create a fantasy, false self-esteem, because they think, I'm boring. I gotta fluff this up a little bit. They lie to avoid punishment, inflict pain, to feel better in the moment. They steal admiration, or to gain advantage to exploit others. Which one of those do you think motivated you to lie?
I think probably to the self-esteem boost.
Did you think you weren't enough?
Probably.
Can you remember the first time you really wove a web of lies?
The campaign.
So you were just a straight shooter till the campaign,
I'm not
and then
saying
all of a sudden...
I was a 100% straight shooter, like, what do you categorize? Like a friend, let's hang out. Oh, I can't, I'm sick. No, I was lying. I don't want to hang out with you, but I don't want to tell you that because you're my friend. Like stuff like that, that's normal. But the campaign is where like I sit back and I look, I'm like, what the hell was I thinking? Like when I hear these clips, I'm just like, it's true. It's really sad. It's like I'm 35 years old. I have to deal with this now for the rest of my life, and I self-inflicted all this stupidity onto myself. I've taken this.
Well, you're getting in your own way.
Dr. Phil, I could cure cancer. Not that I can, right? People would nitpick at it.
You're going to run for office? You're running for office.
Well, since you bring that up, I believe truly that the two-party system is a problem for our country, and I do want to run as an independent. But I have decided just a few hours ago that I'm going to suspend the campaign for the sheer fact that where we are today, the rhetoric is so strong. There's no way for you to be able to be successful with a independent campaign. I think that's going to have to take the backbench, and a couple of years down the road, if I feel like I can, I'll try again.
Aren't you suspending the campaign because you can't raise any money? Who would give you money?
Yes, I have multiple people who had said they have no problem with donating money to me for running for office.
Seriously?
Sure.
But you misappropriated their credit cards.
That's an allegation that I'm going to prove false in a court of law. I will litigate that in court, not here. The one thing nobody's going to accuse me of being is a thief, because I am not one.
Well, I hope that's right. There's a rule under the Federal Election Commission that if there's anything over $200, you have to report it, right?
Yes.
You had an awful lot of charges for $199.99.
I didn't file any of that. That's why we have campaign treasurers. And this is not my job.
Well, Nancy Marks pled guilty and said that you and she did this together.
I have 3 attorneys, and I'm paying quite a handsome amount of money to the attorneys in order to litigate that. But that's in a court of law with the Department of Justice, sir.
How do you make money?
I do consulting. I do tons of work. I'm on Cameo, as everybody knows, right? That's fun. You should get on Cameo. It's very entertaining.
Yeah.
You see, you think you're above it. You don't like Cameo.
I don't even know what the hell you're talking about. We have a tape about this?
I'm pretty sure you do.
Wow, let's look at it.
Hey all, George Santos here. My subscriptions are now open on X. Don't miss out on the piping hot tea for just $7 a month. Just wanted to stop by to wish you a very happy Hanukkah. I can say, you know, I can appreciate what it means to be Jew-ish. Well, only joking.
So you read scripts.
Was it $7 or $350?
So $7 is Twitter, it's X, right? So I have a subscription side of X where I write, you know, exclusive content and people get to see that. And then at Cameo is where you get the personalized videos. That's part of what I do on my day-to-day. I have to pay the legal fees. They're not cheap.
Yeah. Do you think you'll go to prison?
I hope not. I'm going to fight strong not to, because I know a lot of the stuff is going to be litigated in court.
When's your trial date?
September 9th is the start of the trial.
If there's something that is the most unfair allegation against you in terms of just your life and things that people have spread about you, what would it be?
Being called a thief is just unfounded and wrong, period. I don't tolerate that. And I don't think anybody should. This is just crazy. That's why I've welcomed this abundance amount of transparency, and I want to do more and more and just...
If you think George is being transparent and forthcoming, raise your hand. If you think he's still ducking and weaving and spinning, raise your hand.
All right.
Well, there's some feedback about how you're coming across.
That's great, okay.
But you should take that feedback.
I take the feedback, yeah, I'll do better.
Look, I spent a lot of time in the litigation arena. I had a firm called Courtroom Sciences. We did trial science work and preparing witnesses for trial. And a lot of that was teaching them to tell the truth effectively. Let's assume that you really want to tell the truth, okay? Just for argument's sake. You suck at it.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just...
Do I suck at it, or is it the preconceived notion?
No, it doesn't matter. It's just it's the reality. If I had your case, if your lawyers came and said, Dr. Phil, we want to hire you as a trial consultant here, and we need you to prepare George for trial to testify, oh, you and I would have to go to Fantasy Island or something, because we would be in the woods for a long time, because there'd have to be some serious changes. You don't come across as forthcoming and transparent.
Understood.
You come across, let's put it, I would not buy a used car from you.
Fair enough.
And I'm not being judgmental here. I'm telling you, if you are a truth teller, you suck at it.
All right.
I'm just giving you some free advice you didn't ask for. If you're telling the truth, you need to change your delivery. Because if you take this approach to trial, you need to feed the cat and turn off the utilities, because you're going to be gone a while. You don't want to go to court with this approach, because this is a jury out here. This is 250 jurors out here who are saying, you're going to be gone a while. You don't want to do that. Don't take the stand, I can tell you that. You don't want to do that if this is your delivery. You don't want to do that. I'd call in a bomb scare before I'd let you take the stand. If I was on that trial team, I'd do anything to keep you off the stand.
Oh, God, okay.
And you seem like you're actually listening for the first time since you got here. You listen to what I'm telling you right now.
I listen. I genuinely listen, and I appreciate feedback. I know people think, oh, we'll just laugh and make fun, but I take feedback well, and I try to learn and build from that, because that's my goal.
Yeah, and I hope so. And these people are laughing with me, not at you.
I'm pretty sure it's the other way around.
No,
okay.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think they think I'm hilarious. I don't think you think. I don't think they think you're very funny at all.
Oh.
You think you should take my advice? That's all I'm saying. And you didn't ask for my advice. I'm just offering.
Oh, I'm here, aren't I? I knew I was going to get it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're going to get it. No, I appreciate your coming here. You didn't have to come here. And I still think you need to own things. And I hope you use this experience. I hope it.
Oh, I will rewatch this over and over and over and over again. I will be your #1 hit on YouTube. Trust me.
Look, I understand it's not easy getting real with me, but I always say those who have nothing to hide nothing. It's just food for thought. But I seriously want to thank George for being here tonight. And if you want to see more of our conversation that didn't fit into our broadcast episode, you can log on to drphil.com and it will be there. My new book, We've Got Issues, How All Americans Can Stand Strong for Our Country's Soul and Sanity, is on sale everywhere. It's the #1 selling book in America. I would love to hear what stories and issues you want us to cover on Dr. Phil Primetime. You can write to me on my social media or my website. We will see you next time. George, thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr.
Wish you nothing but the best. I'm really serious about that.